Hey, welcome to Middle Ground Books After Hours.
My name's Megan.
I'm Deborah.
And I'm Lance. And I feel like we are the three amigos.
We are the three amigos.
We have a full docket again today. The main book that we are talking about, I think, is going to be Debbie's book. What book did you just finish, Debbie? That's the big one.
I finished book 2 of Rebecca Ross's Elements of Cadence duology. It's called Fire Endless. I had read River Enchanted some time ago, and I had been like, whenever I was in the bookstore and I wasn't busy with customers and I wasn't busy with all the 1,001 tasks of a bookseller and bookstore owner, I had been reading bits and pieces, and as you can guess, I had not gotten far.
Yes.
So I finally, and then I had secretly taken one of the bookstore bookmarks, our lovely bookmarks that we have. And if you come into the store, we'll give you one free, and you'll know how to see us and find us on social media. And they're really classy.
And what are our social media handles for anyone who might be listening and curious?
It's just at Middle Ground Books.
Everywhere?
Yeah, I think we have the same handle across all. It's just Middle Ground Books.
So anyway, I had that in the book so that whenever I happened to have, 5 or 10 minutes, I would pick it up and take it out. And then one day when people were culling books that hadn't sold, they took this out and someone took out my bookmark and I cried. And I said, I guess I just have to break down and buy it because it's on the clearance rack now and my bookmark is gone. So I bought it and brought it home.
Deborah secretly reads books in the bookstore.
Imagine.
No one's looking. How dare.
How dare I read books? Anyway, so I finally purchased it and brought it home, and I read it on Sunday. So I got about halfway through, and I was like, okay, things are moving along well. And then I got about 2/3 of the way through, and I thought, okay, everything is going terribly and everything is horribly wrong, but this is a duology, so there's not going to be a book 3, so she's going to have to fix all of this in this tiny little third of the book that is left. And I thought it was impossible, but
she managed it.
The atom bomb.
Good job, Rebecca.
Did she stitch it up like Shakespeare did? Just kill everybody off?
I can't tell you. That would give it
spoilers.
away.
Okay, so it's got a Shakespeare ending.
I would say it had a satisfactory ending. Like, if that were the case, I would not be talking about it with pleasure. I would be like, it was so frustrating. It made me so mad. No, she tied up all the ends nicely.
Good.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, it was good. And it's got magic, and it has Celtic feel, and it has love, but that's not like the only story or the main story. If you heard us talking earlier about the difference between young adult and new adult, it definitely lands firmly in new adult. It's not gratuitous.
Oh, with the sexy time.
Yeah, I mean, there is sexy time, but it's
they're not going into
tastefully. It's tastefully done, and
they don't go into explicit details.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not the main plot. It's not a romance disguised as a fantasy novel. It is.
So it's like
a fantasy novel with some romance.
It's a kissy garnish.
No.
It's a kissy side.
No, it is an important part of the plot because, like, the people that you love and the people that you care for are a large part of your motivation and why you do the things that you do. So it's not a garnish. It's part of the story, but the story is far more than just a romance.
Like Sam and Rosie in The Lord of the Rings.
That's like a footnote. Like,
yeah, that's barely.
It's the opposite
anything.
of that. You're right. It's the opposite of that. That's what you're saying. You were being sarcastic.
Didn't they have 13 children? So you assume there was some sexy time in there somewhere.
Yes, but their relationship, as far as the whole plot of the trilogy goes, is basically a footnote.
Maybe hobbits can have 4 tonsilets, like 14 kids at a time.
What would that be?
That sounds horrible.
Septuplets, octuplets. I don't even know what 14 would be.
Dectuplets.
I feel like even 2 at a time is like, wow, that's a lot.
We give respect to the moms of multiples.
Yes.
You are amazing. And the dads. I should not, discount. We give respect to all the parents of multiples.
And you'll have to excuse me tonight. I am coughing. Somebody gave me a cold some time ago. I don't think you're going to get it through the podcast. I am, in fact, wearing a mask.
No, he's not.
I'm lying about the wearing a mask. But if you get my digitized germs, I'm very, very sorry. Again, we're recording somewhat late at night.
We've had some drinks.
After hours, yeah.
It's not only after hours, but we were at the small Start Your Own Business class tonight where we were talking about being business owners and what was new for us, and it was everything.
Yeah, we're new to all of it. We're definitely learning new things, like a year and some change in. I don't know that feeling's ever going to go away. Like, you're going to always be learning things.
Right.
And
But
adapting
it's
and
not
pivoting.
obviously a dumpster fire. But we have books on the shelves.
We have customers that come in regularly.
We have employees that expect us to pay them, which, I mean, and so far we've paid our employees, which, that works out pretty well.
And paid our loans and our rent and all the things.
So far,
Thank you,
so
customers.
Good.
Please keep coming.
Yes, exactly.
We really appreciate you.
We've said it before, and we will say it again, that the best thing about our store is the people who come in, and that is very true.
Yeah. On a Saturday, there were a lot of our regulars that came in, and it makes me happy. Like when, they walk in and you can greet them by name and you chat with them.
And they know one another.
Yeah, they know each other. Yeah.
How's your week been?
Yeah.
What you been doing?
Mm-hmm. It just warms my cold little heart.
And some of them tell us to charge more for our food, which is also kind of nice. If a Fire Endless was a food item, what would it be?
A single food item?
You can't have just plain spaghetti, unless it is just plain spaghetti noodles. But typically spaghetti would have a sauce of some kind, or
I think it's like a steak. It's wholesome and meaty and satisfying and fills you up. Yeah, it's not like a little snack that afterwards is going to give you a tummy ache and a bad aftertaste in your mouth that you're like, why did I eat that again? No, that was satisfying and
I've never
good.
thought about comparing books to food.
I haven't either, so it's a new skill I'm trying out. Why? Do you compare your books to food?
Never before now.
Okay, so you gave me a challenge that you yourself have.
Yeah, I was just thinking, what would I say about the books that I read?
That's what I was going to ask.
I've got one for one, but
I've not completed any new books since the last time we chatted. But I was trying to think of books that I've read in the past and what I would compare. So okay, I think we kind of I don't know if you guys finished the Spell Shop book.
Yeah.
That would be like a cinnamon roll. It's warm and it's sweet. And it's just makes you feel nice.
To me, it was more like cotton candy. It's just
fluffy.
Fluff.
Yeah.
It's just fluff. I love cotton candy. I'm not saying that to say that it's not a worthwhile book. I frequently buy a bag of cotton candy.
Yes.
Yeah, she loves cotton candy. And for any of the Spell Shop, who was the author on Spell Shop? Just so we can
Sarah Durst. Sarah Durst.
I was a part of that too, just so everyone knows. And I think that is a full-fledged romantasy, right? That is
it's a cozy
fantasy.
That has a little bit of sprinkle of romance.
You have been reading a book, although it's mostly been while you've been falling asleep, and that is Harry Potter, The Philosopher's Stone. We've been reading the British version. It's completely different.
No. The spelling of some words is different.
And some of the words are different, like
the Philosopher's Stone instead of the Sorcerer's Stone?
And I think the sweater that got smaller, did they call it something? Oh, no.
A jumper. They call it sweaters jumpers.
But I think that's in the American.
I think in the American version they call it a bonnet when it talks about how Dudley is this beach ball wearing a bonnet, and they called it something different in the UK version. But we did get the UK version at Blackwell's, which was kind of cool.
When we were in the UK.
Yeah. But anyway, so Harry Potter,
when we did
reading it now, not as a youth, or listening to it now, not as a youth. Any differences? Any things that really stand out?
No, because I've either read it or watched it enough that I know what's going to happen. So I don't really know that anything new has stood out.
So I already was an adult before I read it. We read it to our children. And I remember just thinking that Dudley,
he's a poop head. He's a brat.
You know, parents get what they deserve. Like, they created that monster.
The thing I always think...
They seem to be oblivious to it.
They
Think
don't
he's
think
just
he's a
the
monster.
greatest
They
thing
think he's
ever.
wonderful.
And you're
Yeah.
like, ew.
The
gross.
thing I always think reading the first Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, whatever. Why is the American called Sorcerer's Stone, I wonder? Never mind. She got rejected so many times with that book. And it may actually be based on a graphic novel that Neil Gaiman was involved in, but I don't know if that's really a thing or not.
It did, I think, come out before. There are differences. I'm not going to get into it. There's a lot of similarities. Let's say.
Because that book was so rejected and therefore I think so revised. All of the books, I really feel like Volume 1 is the tightest, the neatest, the most well written. Yeah.
They grew
It's
thicker.
concise.
They grew thicker and thicker.
And by the time, I think it was just a really good introduction to that world and to the characters. You love the characters you love, and like you really hate the characters you hate. And there's this
Dudley.
The Dursleys in general.
And you mentioned a thing before with A Fire Endless and the whole character arc and the way that the narrative moves. And there's, I think it's by Snyder, a playwriting manual called Save the Cat. Some of you have probably seen it, especially if you're writers. But he basically plots it down to say, look, if you're writing a commercial screenplay, you're going to, at this page, you're going to have that. 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 And that's it.
It's very formulaic.
And if you don't, forget about writing a commercial screenplay because nobody's going to buy
No
it.
producer will pick it up.
Which is kind of egregious and hateful, but damned if he isn't right.
Yeah.
And so... I mean, there's that movement in the book, and you were saying in A Fire Endless, the pinch point that they talk about didn't come until really late in the book.
It was about 2/3 through, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of conflict and bad things from the beginning, but yes, it came to a
Really tight squeeze. Yeah.
at about 2/3 the way through the book, and I didn't know how she was going to wrap it all up, but she did. I think that obviously she's written other books before this, and she has, alpha readers and beta readers and editors, and so she knows what she's doing. But
So in talking about that, I have listened to some audiobooks that, going in, I didn't really know what they were. Like, you knew this was a duology, so you kind of knew, okay, this is it. Like, she has to wrap it up in this many pages.
Right.
But I've been listening to some audiobooks, and I'm like, I think things are kind of resolved, and then all of a sudden, I'm at like 90% of this audiobook, and a lot of other crazy stuff starts happening, and I'm like, oh no, there's gonna be a sequel.
Yeah, that happened to me with an audiobook too. I was like thinking, oh yeah, we're finally getting to it. It's going to happen. And then the next track was, you've been listening to, and I literally yelled in the car. I'm yelling, what? And it's like, book 2 will come out, and I'm like, no!
Yeah. Well, especially because we get the advanced listening copies, so I'm listening to it before it's even been released.
Right.
And so I'm like, what? I'm not going to have answers for who knows how long.
Well, on the bright side, at least it's not like anime where it's like you get that first season. That may be it, baby.
That's true.
That could be that could be the all.
It's true with book deals.
Yes. I was about to drink from Megan's glass instead of mine, and Debbie had to straighten me out. That was the reason for that.
So rude.
Yeah.
With book deals, they already have, if the second book isn't already written, it's already under contract, and I think that that's part of why the later Harry Potter volumes were not as well crafted and tailored, because she was doing it under a deadline, and
Yeah. Though then there's the authors who
Screw the deadline.
Yeah.
We're looking at you, George R. R. Martin.
George R. R. Martin and Patrick Rothfuss.
I mean,
both of you
come
need
on.
to be
Do they have a club?
They might. I mean, they're both fantasy
the
writers.
non-finishers club.
I guess. I'm getting annoyed with Patrick especially because, like, it's only one more book, Patrick. Come on. Just one more. George,
There's
you're
only
supposed to have
2 songs in me. I just wrote the third.
And if you don't know that song from They Might Be Giants, you really should check into it.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. That's funny. Well, like George has at least a couple more to write. I can't remember how many he's supposed to write. I think 2 more at least to finish his series. And
so one of our customers shared with me his thought that George had already, he's already written them and he's given them to his disciples that when he dies, they will release them.
So we can be mad at his ghost.
I heard somebody else say that they finished the series.
The TV series,
and
people
I heard
were
somebody
not
say,
happy.
"Well, I think that what it is that's how he was really planning to end it, and everybody hated it so much in the series that now he's like,
Oh
no, what have I done?
I better do something else."
You think about what was it? Was it Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey that was fan fiction?
Technically,
Yes.
I think both were.
Yes.
But anyway, 50 Shades was fan fiction of Twilight.
Yes,
Is what I've been
and
told, yes.
she wrote it as on the web.
Yes.
And everybody said, "Oh no, that doesn't work," and told her to change it.
She
And
revised a lot, yeah.
got 50,000
A lot of feedback.
beta readers in order
Lots
to.
of editors helped her.
So of course, it was better.
Was it?
Is it?
I assume it's
None
sold
of us
more.
none
It's
of us
sold
has
more.
read it, so we have to suspend judgment on that one.
So I promised in our last podcast.
Episode.
Our
I think it's
last
episode
of this podcast.
Episode of
Yeah.
this podcast. That sounds the most
Middle Ground Books After Hours.
That sounds
smarty
normal.
warty. That I would read some uplifting poetry. I don't know if I managed to read No, that's not true. I read a treasury of the world's best loved poems, and that is according to who is the editor. He doesn't actually want to admit who he is, and edited by someone who is evidently nameless.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Best loved poems according to some guy.
Yeah. And he has some nice things to say. How does one choose when going about the business of making a collection of great poems? There have
He's
been many
British?
attempts at definition. Poetry is the music of the soul, Voltaire. The art of uniting pleasure with truth, Samuel Johnson. The universal language which the heart holds with nature in itself, William Hazlitt. The record of the best and happiest moments of the best minds, Shelley. It is that which makes my body so cold no fire can warm me, and makes me feel as if the top of my head were taken off.
What?
Emily Dickinson. Poetry is the synthesis of hyacinths and biscuits, a series of explanations of life, fading off into horizons too swift for explanation. Carl Sandburg.
So the editor's British? Or
I
you just
just
made British in your head?
decided-
He could be any nationality
He-
since he has not.
Is not enlightened us as to who he is. But this is an older compendium of poetry, and there was really a lot in it. It captured pretty well the vanity, the glory, the pride, love, desperation, sadness, bigotry. And it really does have, Megan's just smelling it.
It's got that musty old book smell. And
And-
it's got some foxing, so that's,
And
It's an old
foxing.
book.
Foxing, I love that word. For any of you who are listening who don't know what foxing is when the pages turn a bit foxy colored, actually.
yeah, it's
And,
kind of
and that is that why our store mascot is a fox?
It is
Well-
now.
it was intentional.
It was deliberate.
It was deliberate. Yeah.
This is really a different kind of compendium of poems. Elizabeth Barrett Browning, I think, is hands down always my favorite sonnets from the Portuguese. If you don't know them, you should.
Do we have a copy in the store? I know we did.
We did at
always
Valentine's
do.
Day.
Well, I know we had some love poems that wasn't it her?
We had
yeah.
we had sonnets from the Portuguese. In fact, we should always have sonnets in the Portuguese. And if we ever don't have sonnets from the Portuguese, then I'm ordering sonnets from the Portuguese.
You always have the monster at the end of this book.
Exactly.
You know, they're both
Or Goodnight
literary
Moon.
classics.
Goodnight Moon, because
But I was being sarcastic. That one is a literary classic. I don't know that anyone but me considers
we've sold several
monster
copies of that.
Well, and when
lot,
Anitra Rao Schulte was in, that was one of the books she said was a favorite of hers as
well,
a
yeah,
child.
it's so good. We've sold many copies of it, and I had someone call and be like, "Do you have this book?"
The
And I'm
monster
like,
at the end
yes,
of
we
this
do. So maybe it is a classic.
It's a classic to me.
The great thing about reading a compendium like this, first of all, it's from an earlier time. And so just the slant of the poems is a lot different than you'd find in many more modern treatments.
What do you mean?
There are 18th century writers and 19th century writers rather than like 20th.
Yeah, you're not going to find the
21st.
Beats in here. You're not even going to find Frost in here.
Oh. When was
like-
this published?
It uses Roman numerals, and I have no desire to try to figure that out right now. I'm reading.
Okay, we're just trying to help.
We're both like, here, give it here.
So, yeah, it's got Lewis Carroll, and it's got, of course, Shakespeare, and John Keats, big sigh. Oh, John Keats. I'm not a big fan of John Keats. And Elizabeth was married to Robert, and Elizabeth is brilliant. Robert,
Well, that's what I was
really
meaning,
love.
that poetry book, I think, that had both of theirs in it.
yeah, Elizabeth is a lot better.
Ooh.
No, I mean, just, no shade on Robert. He's just not as good as Elizabeth.
I mean, Fanny Mendelssohn was a composer, but Felix Mendelssohn is the composer everybody knows. And in fact, a lot of his compositions were probably written by Fanny.
Well, there's
Anyway.
a lot of that in history.
I know,
With
I know.
like science, like Albert Einstein, like his wife did a lot of. Anyway, yeah.
But there's, Burns, and there's, Longfellow and Wordsworth.
But what are you going to read for us?
Alexander Pope, ironically. Most of the things that he writes I don't like, but Solitude. Happy the man whose wish and care a few paternal acres bound, content to breathe his native air in his own ground, whose herds with milk, whose fields with bread, whose flocks supply him with attire, whose trees in summer yield him shade, in winter fire. Blessed who can unconcernedly find hours, days, and years slide soft away. In health of body, peace of mind, quiet day by day, sound sleep by night, study and ease, together mixed sweet recreation, and innocence, which most thus please, with meditation. Thus let me live, unseen, unknown, thus unlamented let me die, steal from the world, and not a stone, tell where I lie. The name of the poem is Solitude.
So he's basically describing the life of a homesteader.
Or many in our stretch of the country.
Leave me alone. Let me be.
Well, I'm just saying somebody who takes care of all their own needs, their own food, their own shelter, their own clothing.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to read the Elizabeth Barrett Browning poem because I don't want to cry.
Aw.
But, yeah, then there's this one from Leigh Hunt. Who the heck is Leigh Hunt?
Never heard that name.
No idea.
I don't even know. The name of the poem is Jenny Kissed Me. Jenny kissed me when we met, jumping from the chair she sat in. Time, you thief who love to get sweets into you list, put that in. Say I'm weary, say I'm sad, say that health and wealth have missed me. Say I'm growing old, but add, Jenny kissed me.
Okay.
Do you know that one? Mm-hmm. Megan wants me to read. She walks in beauty.
No. You don't need to read.
I don't need to read it?
No. I just remember reading that in English class and being like,
So now we
I
have to
love
read
the
it.
poetry segment. No, because I love the poetry segment. And I feel like everyone in my, like senior high school class was like, ugh, like they hated that unit. And I loved it.
So the other book I have just started and was actually a little bit dreading because if you listen to our last podcast episode, then you know that I've been reading a lot of back catalog. And insofar as Megan and I were joking about calling my segment of the webisode, not webisode. I just said it wrong again. Podcast. Baby's Got Back Catalog. Since I've been reading all this back catalog stuff and a lot of old used books, But I started The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde because I'd never read it.
I was so surprised you never read it. Debbie and I both read it in high school, and
It wasn't
like
required reading for me. I just decided to read it because I was annoyed with my English teacher and the stuff that he chose for us to read. And so I decided to
it was on the
go
list.
on a self-betterment campaign of my own.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
See,
I
we
love
had
that
a list.
for you.
Like we
Yes.
had a list.
Yeah.
We didn't just
We weren't
get
in
to read
high school
whatever.
at the same time, but we had the same English teacher.
Right, I'm aware. And we had a list that everyone had to choose one book that they would read and do a book report. But I read
Everyone
lots of other
chose
books.
Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Why
Really?
was it the shortest?
Yeah. Like every football player chose. And the thing is, if 6 people are reading Jonathan Livingston Seagull, A, there's going to be a problem because the library only had 4 copies. B, the other problem is after you've heard the book report 4 times, you didn't
You don't
really
even have
need
to
read the book.
So did he do the thing where he just like quizzed, like he would just go down the row
Oh, yes, he
and be
did.
like, okay, I figured he probably kept it the
Okay,
same.
but here's my question. Our teacher had a list, but none of us were allowed to choose a duplicate. Like everyone had to have a different.
We just had a list and
Some of
chose
those
from
guys,
it.
Jonathan Livingston Seagull was absolutely the best they were going to do.
I'd
talk
never
about-
heard of this book.
Let's make blunt head trauma a sport. And
Yeah, he would let you go off list if you could like convince him. You know what I mean? Like he would let you read other stuff, but you had to make your case.
and you could read up, but
Yeah.
not down.
It's
So
a
if you told him,
novella.
I want to read Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained by John Milton, he would say,
Sure.
yeah. If you wanted to say, well, my grandma loaned me this Harlequin romance that she said
You'd be like,
I needed to read.
She said it was really
Hell
cute.
no.
She said it was really cute one.
I don't even know. I don't know if it was even on the list, but I wanted to read. I read the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I remember him coming up to me. He's like, "Okay, give me the short version." I'm like, "There is not a short version of this." Like, I don't know how I could give you a short version.
Sadly, our time is drawing to a close.
Oh, really?
What? How did
Time
that
flies.
happen?
You know,
We had
it
nothing to
happens.
talk about.
We really kind of didn't, but we read some poetry. We talked about A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. Look that up on middlegroundbooks.com. And you can probably, even if you're not in Emporia, you can pick that up on the shop now on bookshop.org.
You may want to start with the first book of the duology,
Oh, yeah, that.
A River Enchanted.
Jump on in.
It's so much faster to just read the last book in the duology. So much faster.
Check out book 1, A River Enchanted. Then book 2.
You know, I should have let you talk about that from the beginning.
About what from the beginning?
Like
that
the
it was book
pitch.
2.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
I mean,
did
I
know.
knew that, but I guess I didn't realize that you didn't know that.
Well, I did know that. I just should have let you do the pitch from the beginning.
you did
But
great.
I thought you said that it was book 2 in the duology.
Yeah, she did. I just was busy not listening.
Oh, okay.
So until next time.
We'll meet you in the middle.
Hey, I'm Lance from Middle Ground Books. You've been listening to Middle Ground Books After Hours with Deborah, Megan, and me. Frankly, you might deserve a medal for that action. Come see us at the store at 606 Commercial Street in Emporia. The store is a little like an introvert's fever dream. You're always welcome, and we'll always be glad to see you. Middle Ground Books After Hours is produced and remotely engineered by Cosmic Atom Sound Studios, producing the vision and making a sound. Cosmic Atom Sound Studios. Let's come together and build something new. Many thanks for hanging out with us this time, and until next time, we'll meet you in the middle. What are we looking at?
Lee Hunt.
Oh, Lee Hunt. Somebody
who is
just
that guy?
Googled the Lee Hunt.
He lived from
Jenny kissed him.
1784
I don't know if
to
you knew, but Jenny
1859.
kissed him.
He and Jenny were sweeties.
They at least made out once.
His entire name was James Henry Lee Hunt. But he, as a poet, he went only by Leigh Hunt.
Like I was saying, I loved the poetry unit we did. I thought it was great. And everyone else was just poopy about it. Like they hated it. And they were always complaining anytime we were...
Some poetry can be really pretentious.
Yeah.
Really florid and
He
for
may
not
have
much
kissed
purpose.
Jenny, but he married Marianne.
Ooh! Ooh-hoo-hoo! Google spilling the tea on Lee.
Spouse Marianne Kent Hunt. Anyway. I mean, how many people didn't kiss somebody before their spouse?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.